Oh yeah, I still haven't got my virtual camera set up yet. I forgot.
Okay, don't worry about it.
All right, all right.
No worries.
You know me, I'm lazy as shit.
We don't say that word anymore.
All right,
I've
okay.
actually like I'm trying to deprogram
I
like that.
okay, yeah, I like this idea. Okay, I'm unmotivated to do capitalist bullshit.
Yes, perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
let me get our comrade up on the screen here. I did this before. This should work again now.
Can they hear me?
Yes, yes, everybody can hear
Okay.
you. Julia's on the stream. Now they can see you as well.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, in the DPRK, like most of the time, the army is like building stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
and yeah,
why the
anti-lazy.
which is like why like you get a huge like amount of people who want to join.
Yeah, yeah, because they serve the people. So yeah. Yeah, I'm anti-lazy. This is like a thing, you know, like immigrant parents like gaslighting you all the time. Like we suffered and struggled and we sacrificed for you as if I asked to be born, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Anyway,
Larry
and
is
like the
anything
worst
but lazy. He's always doing three things at once. Yeah, but I could be doing
exactly,
four things at once, Angel.
exactly. So let us just attempt to do away with the word lazy
I
because
I agree.
it has a moralistic like in like a you know, a tenant like tinge to it, and it's just weird, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
No,
ugh.
no. That is a fantastic point. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring this up.
Six shirt, thank you. I made it. I mean, yeah, I made it. Listen, I don't go outside like ever. So like I never get to like show people my like communist drip. So
This is why I stream. This is literally why I stream.
yeah.
Not
Yep.
go outside, so therefore
Yep.
human interaction is found online.
Yep. Yeah, the only drip I have is handmade commie drip.
That's the best kind of commie drip, though.
Yeah. I don't yeah. Hey, shut-ins.
Shut-ins for the win.
That's right. Um all right. How was your like did you already read the DPRK Hunger Games book? So, I read like the first like 8 chapters or something. The VOD is up on YouTube.
Yep.
Um
She
so
suffers
if you
through
missed
this as we go for you, chat.
yeah. Yeah, I fucking um have been laughing my ass off like all morning basically reading this because I'm like, oh god.
To
Okay,
be fair,
Minty.
chat. To be fair, you all asked for this technically.
I mean, literally, yes. You all asked for it. Yeah. Um.
This
All right.
and get everybody caught up, shall we? Like where
Right.
do we, what are we reading and where did we live off?
Okay. So we are reading the Juche series by Adria Cracker Michael.
Adria Cracker Michael, who may be an
Sorry.
old white dude, we think.
Yeah. 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 And yeah, it's called The Demon of Yodok. So
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, well, which is most of you, because who the fuck has ever heard of this place? Adria Zenz! Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yes,
It's
hummus
his
gun
pen
killer!
name.
Adria Zenz!
And in case you need a visual for the Demon of Yodok here. Not a one for one, but this will give you a good visual.
Yeah,
This is a good visual imagining of the Demon of Yodok here.
Adria Zenz is fucking killing me. Oh my god. So good.
Just some
Um,
dude smoking a cigarette is what we've got so
yes,
far.
yes. So, just so you guys know, I wrote a recap.
Oh my god.
All right. Are we ready?
Chat, press 1 in chat if you're ready for this.
Yep.
Ones in chat if you're ready
Victims of
to be
communism.
tortured with this. Join us, will you, in her masochism journey?
Yeah. Yep. Honestly, though, it's just so funny. Like, I'm just reading this and I'm like laughing my ass off because I'm like, how did you get this? Like, where did you come up with this? Like,
Orientalism.
Orientalism. Orientalism is a hell of a drug.
Orientalism and RFA mixed together
Yeah.
into one perfect soup of.
RFA has a lot to fucking answer for.
Yeah, they will have to pay
Alright.
reparations.
All right. So, previously on the Demon of Yodok. I tried to do it like you, Terry, Larry, but I can't. I can't do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Hold on. The Demon of Yodok.
Oh my god. It's really good. Okay. So, last week, we got introduced to our lovely heroine. Her name is Autumn, which is like not even really a real name, by the way. Like, I'm gonna point out like all the times that the names are just like bonkers, where I'm just like, that's not how Korean names work, like at all. So our lovely heroine Autumn, who, judging by her point of view thoughts, seems to like hate everyone except for like her one friend. Like, she's like so mean to like her mom, she's mean to her sister, like, yeah, anyway.
She sounds like a young Yeonmi Park, from what I understand. Just horrible to everybody, and also thinks that hail is rocks falling from the sky.
Yep. She also hated this girl in her class named Mina because Mina was nice to people and helped them, and therefore people liked her. I mean, like, people might fucking like you too if you were nice.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta understand that really that's socialist brainwashing. Being nice to people. Come on, who does that?
Mina disappeared along with her entire family, and she was never seen again. Autumn walks to school, where she is harassed by a creepy demon man who's just standing there, smoking a cigarette, menacingly, communistly.
This is. I'm gonna try and find visual indications as you go.
Yeah. He's just looking at her communistly. No, it doesn't actually say that, but like literally all he's doing is standing there like smoking a cigarette, and she's like, oh my god, his face looks like a demon face. And like stuff like that. She's
just like very ageist, actually. He's just like really wrinkly. Like, come on, give the man a break.
Right? Come on.
He's worked a hard life, and he smokes, all right? He's got some wrinkles. It's not a fucking demon. Give the dude a break. Demon. Come on.
Yeah. And like, I don't even know why she believes in demons, because it's not like the DPRK teaches about Christianity. So
well, like, I mean, if Kim Il-sung is a god,
yeah,
wouldn't it stand to reason that there is a demon?
Yeah, it's what's his face? Fuck. MacArthur. That's the demon.
MacArthur. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so Autumn wants to be a gymnast, and she wants to join the Great General's gymnastics team so that she can go to international competition so she can run away. And escape.
The Great General's gymnastics team, meaning the international, like, DPRK gymnastics team.
Yeah, exactly. His personal gymnastics team.
He owns that one.
My drift. Wink, wink.
Remember, we watched a movie on that yesterday, chat. Comrade Kim Goes Flying.
Oh, such a good movie.
Yeah, we watched that yesterday.
Straight up wholesome. Autumn is going. She went to a tryout, and only the top 10 girls get in. She's like crashing out because this other girl is like better than her and she's getting better scores than her. So she sabotages that girl by putting baby powder in the chalk bucket, where the gymnasts are like, doing this so they have grip, causing the girl to slip and break her leg so bad that the bone is popping out. Autumn, of course, claims that she didn't mean it. She just wanted her to fall and fail. Yeah, she went full Nancy Kerrigan.
She's horrible.
Not full Nancy, full Tonya Harding. Sorry, yeah, Nancy Kerrigan was the victim.
Yeah,
Tonya Harding.
Korean way to blame the victim, Julia.
I mean, I think it's maybe better that like I know the victim's name like first.
No, you're probably right.
So she gets on the team. So now she made it onto the Great Generals team, gymnastics team. And her friend helped her by causing a distraction so she could put the baby powder in the chalk bucket. Which is like such a shitty thing to do. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
Well, you can't win on even playing field. Again, that would be a socialist thing to do. Well,
about that. Okay, so her and her friend leave. This is chapter 9, by the way. Her and her friend leave the gymnasium, and they're outside, and her friend's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did it! You did it for real! How do you feel?" And she's like, she doesn't say anything, and then her friend's like, "Have you rehearsed how you'll break the news to your family? Because she's going to leave my family and go live with the Great General's national gymnastics team somewhere at an undisclosed location."
The secret gymnastics city.
Yeah, what the fuck?
DPRK has special secret cities for all the different, like, national sports teams, and, don't you know how that works?
Yep.
They keep them all in separate gulags.
Yep.
They just the hockey team, they just wait around in a gulag until it's time for the national hockey game.
Yep. So she doesn't say anything and her friend's talking, so her friend is like, "Are you okay?" And Autumn's like, "Oh, this is the greatest day of my life. I can't even describe it. It's like I can't believe this is happening." They go to like a monument in Pyongyang, showing the heroes of like the Fatherland Liberation War, and the friend is like, "I don't want to look at war tonight," and like drags her away to somewhere else in the city. So they're like beside the river, and Sumi is the name of the friend. She goes, "Look what I have," pulling out a half-full curry bottle from her backpack. Even in the pale moonlight, I immediately recognized it as pomegranate liquor, which is a Korean thing that it fucking slaps. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
No doubt stolen from her mother's liquor cabinet. It wasn't the first time. I knew we were either going to celebrate or mourn, so I prepared for either occasion. Thanks, Sumi, but only a little. Remember, I haven't had a drink in over 10 months because of my training. Okay, what do you want, a fucking medal? I mean, yeah, that's literally what she wants. Yeah.
Good job.
We sat on the rough concrete with our feet dangling over the water. Sumi poured the pomegranate liquor into 2 paper cups and handed one to me. "Here's to you, Autumn. You were awesome back there," she said as our cups touched. It would have been
As our cups touched?
Yeah. It would have been a scandal if they didn't pick you. Sumi emptied her cup and a pressing silence fell over us as she poured herself another. "I really didn't want it to go down like that," I mumbled, feeling a slight sting in my mouth after sipping the sweet beverage. Kyungsuk breaking her leg wasn't part of the plan. "I know, Autumn, but there was no way you could have known, right?" I shook my head feebly without looking at her. "I mean, you've fallen hundreds, maybe even thousands of times, right? And nothing like that has ever happened to you." It was just a freak accident, that's all. It wasn't your fault. You were just trying to even the score. It was so obvious her parents had bribed the judges. Anyone could see that. Do you really think so? Definitely, Sumi says after emptying her second cup. Just take your second routine. Hers was identical to yours and you did it better. Still, they gave her a higher score. There's no other explanation. Like, because she was better than you? Like, speaking of fucking winning on an even playing field, you know?
No, not possible.
So they're drinking. Sumi is on her third cup. I think they're like 14. So like, you know, 14-year-olds. I don't know. Like, why are you drinking liquor? I mean, I know that happens, but like, I don't know. Anyway, she's on her third cup. Yeah.
They seem like the type of belligerents who would be up to this type of thing. I'm not gonna lie. At least, what's her name does?
Sumi, yeah.
Yeah, she'd
Sumi
be taking the
like...
liquor to school, getting all the other kids in fucking trouble or something.
Yeah. I mean, pomegranate liquor is delicious, but yeah. So now
not that I would have ever done anything like that in my youth or anything like, I would never.
Never. No. Larry, you've never drunk a day in your life.
No. I mean, well, maybe now that I'm an adult, but certainly not when it was illegal for me to drink.
Trailer Park Boys is actually a documentary, and it's a documentary of Larry's life.
Yeah. They had to change some names.
Yeah.
To protect the victims.
Yep. Oh, fuck. So I guess she's kind of tipsy, Sumi, and she's like, just don't forget about me, Autumn. You know, when you're a big superstar. And Autumn hugs her. She says, you'll always be my sister. You know, but she has a sister that she's like a dick to, but okay. Do you think she'll be all right? I asked, seeing Kyung-suk's blood-smeared leg before me. Definitely, Sumi nodded. I don't know if she'll ever become a star gymnast like you, but she's the only daughter of the Minister of National Defense. So it's not like she's at risk of plummeting into poverty, no matter what happens. Oh, okay, so that's fine then. Yeah, it's fine that her bone was poking out.
I love that trope though. I love that we still do this trope of like all the communist Politburo members, like they're eating the caviar, they're getting paid millions of dollars, you know. Not our politicians. Don't look at our politicians and what they're making and where they're living and the type of like Yeah, no, it's, you know, it's Castro and Kim Jong-un, like they have a lot of money.
Yeah, the luxurious lifestyle of his daughter, who, from what I have seen, just like follows her dad around the country looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Like, wow, yeah, living in the lap of luxury. Meanwhile, Netanyahu's son is like fucking around in Miami or something.
The like, lap of luxury, learning how to fight a revolution against imperialism and fucking capitalism. The
lap of luxury, the cockpit of a tank.
I mean, that's kind of what that shows me though, right? Is like that same learning that Kim Il-sung like passed down to Kim Jong-il during, you know, the wartime. It's like continuing on, like they recognize that that war, that struggle is still carrying on. And that's why you see, like, I think Kim Jong-un educating his daughter like that, right? Like, she obviously has an interest in that, so...
It's an apprenticeship in revolutionary struggle, which, fuck, it should have been me.
Yeah.
I should have been Kim Jong-un's daughter. It should have been me. Sorry, I'm
It's okay though, because you're all Kim Jong-un's daughter.
Really?
Yep, that's how it works. At the end of the day.
Yeah, so I guess that girl's gonna be fine because she's a Nepo baby. And besides, she's a cheater. Her whole family are cheaters, so she doesn't deserve to qualify. But you do. I hope you're right, I mumbled. and this is her thoughts.
Wait, her family's the cheater, but she's the one who's sabotaging them. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Her internal thought is, because I'm a cheater too. So they are sitting and drinking, blah, blah, blah. Sumi is like, how did you know the baby powder would work? She tells a story about, like, my parents made me babysit for the neighbor last year. Like, why are you talking about that? Like, it was such an ordeal, bro. Like, made me babysit for the neighbor. Like, I would have just been like, yeah, I looked after my neighbor's kid. Whatever. I got some baby powder on my hands and noticed it looked and felt like the chalk we use for the bars and beams, but it was much slipperier. I never thought I would use it in this way, though. Not until I didn't finish the sentence. Instead, I took the first big mouthful of my drink. After only half a cup, I already felt woozy, accompanied by a slight tingling around my temples. Wow, what a lightweight skill issue.
Damn.
We really live in a beautiful city, I said, eager to shift the conversation into something less depressing. Sumi sat up. She was now sipping her drink like me instead of emptying the cups in one gulp. So, still no news about your dad? She asked. No, nothing. But he must be on a business trip, right? She looked at me cautiously. I mean, what else could there be? The night air became tense. Why did she have to bring him up? I don't know, I replied. But that's probably what it is. It's just like he always lets us know before he leaves. Saying that made me remember Nari's words from this morning, and I shuddered. I heard him telling Sun-hee that they were having some problems at the ministry. Okay, so this is one of these, like, very consistent things that happens in this book that I straight up do not understand. Adam, the main character, refers to her mother and father by their names. And for like a little bit, when I was reading this, I was confused.
Yeah.
Like, who is she talking about? Like, who's Sun-hee? And then I realized, oh, it's her mother. And then I was like, wait, why the fuck is she calling her mother by her name? Like, that is such a huge no-no in Korean culture. It's like, because you have to respect your elders. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I never in my life have I ever done that. Like, I wouldn't go up to my mother. I'd just be like, hey, what's up, Kwangok? Like,
yeah, no, I could probably count the amount of times I've said my mom's name on one hand.
Right, right. Yeah. And so I don't understand what this is. Like, why are you calling her that?
It's like it's like Bart Simpson energy or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, is that what it's supposed to be? Like, showing how disrespectful she is? Or
yeah. I don't
The whole book is like, she's such a dick. No wonder she couldn't survive in goddamn Juche, Korea. Get her that. It's like Fidel Castro with the, if they don't have any revolutionary spirit, we don't want them, we don't need them. Get the senator to South Korea, for God's sakes, you know?
That's right. That's right. So they had problems at the ministry. Her father works at the Ministry of Food something. I don't remember what they call it.
The Ministry of Rations. Come on.
Yeah,
We know this.
Something about food supply. I don't know. And when there are problems, apparently he's the one who must go around the entire country to fix them. Or maybe it's just an excuse for him to get away. You know, from us, from all of the problems. He's been traveling more and more the last couple years, and when he's home, he's still somewhere else in his mind. Sumi filled her fourth cup and threw the empty bottle into the river.
What?
What the fuck? Why are you
really is exactly what I'm saying. She's just like literally can't function in like a society.
What I bet there's a trash can like two fucking steps from you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Gulag.
Of course she pollutes. Of course she pollutes.
Gulag. Like, actually.
I do love that, like, his thing too, his explanation for this is that she's struggling with trying to understand living under an oppressive regime And that's why she behaves like this.
Yep. I mean, yeah, you in the DPRK, you don't have this one freedom. You don't have the freedom to fucking litter and destroy the environment and spray Roundup on all the plants to make everyone die. You know, like,
Per Tenebras, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs, comrade.
Wow, nice.
Support means a ton.
Like, actually reminds me of how my son talks a lot. No!
Yeah. But consider this, Julia. With the freedom to eat Roundup comes the freedom to eat aerosol cheese. And therefore, America, baby.
What is that?
You don't know about aerosol cheese? It, like, comes in the spray can. It's cheese that sprays out of a can.
What?
Spray can cheese.
Aerosol cheese.
It's like spray cheese.
That's not cheese.
It's like...
That's like...
It's a liquid cheese-like flavored product.
What? Why is the font like what? Why?
Because if you're gonna have carcinogenics, it might as well be in cheese spray can form. Now you can just spray cheese onto your burger. Don't you see? Capitalist innovation wins.
Is this white culture?
That's white culture. Yes. Yes.
Is that your culture? I don't like it. So we watched the bottle slowly float away, bobbing up and down on the glistening surface. I gave her my cup. It was still half full, but I didn't want to get sick tonight. Sumi emptied both cups and threw them into the river as well.
Jesus, she's a jerk.
We then got up and continued walking. My head was spinning, so I moved away from the edge. I had almost forgotten what this felt like, although I clearly remembered the buzz I had gotten when Sumi introduced me to my first drink 2 years ago. When you were 12? But also, like, what is this writing? I had almost forgotten what this felt like, although I clearly remember. Like, did you forget?
Way to write an oxymoron.
I don't understand. Anyway,
so does she remember or not remember?
It depends on what's convenient. That night I ended up hugging the toilet. Oh wait, you have toilets? You have toilets in the DPRK?
Weird.
One of the most horrible experiences of my life. I'm 14. I haven't had very many experiences. That's not in the book. I just made that up because, like, how is that one of the most horrible experiences of your life? And it's funny. What's funny is that she later is going to describe stuff happening to her sister that apparently does not even come close to vomiting in the toilet from drinking too much.
The title of the book is Juche, Part 1, The Demon of Yodok.
Yep. So they're walking down, like, their conversation is boring, whatever. But at one point, it says, we reached the USS Pueblo, a tiny spy ship that had been captured during the Fatherland Liberation War 40 years ago, a success still celebrated today.
It was captured after that.
Yeah, that's literally wrong.
Even the most basic history is wrong then.
Yeah, no, it's literally fucking wrong.
Because the spy ship is after the armistice, and they were violating the armistice with this armed fucking
exactly
boat.
Why. Yeah, that's why they reacted so, like, strongly, because that was a great breach of the peace.
Yeah, and they took the boat and captured it, and them having the boat, they proved that it was armed. So
yeah, Yeah, that's why it's there, like being displayed to be like they lied, like our enemies lied to say that this boat didn't have anything on it, but you can see with your own fucking eyes that it does.
Larry, we're both, first of all, we're both Canadians, so we're both in Canada, so you could ask Julia this question as well.
You don't
Larry,
seal it.
why do Canadians have bag milk? Like, how do you seal it?
You don't seal it. You just leave it.
You just leave it open to the air.
Because it's only like this big of a cut in like the top.
Yeah.
And you put the bag in the pitcher. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got a little pitcher that the bag goes in. It was all different shapes. I mean, you don't have to buy the bag milk.
We do have box milk now. Also, oxidize. I'm not sure what you mean. It
doesn't oxidize? No.
In school we also had like personal size bag milk. It'd be like this big, like a little bag of chocolate milk or milk. Yeah. And you had to stab it with a straw, but like if you stabbed it the wrong way, milk would just like splurt everywhere.
Milk everywhere, yep.
And yeah, for like some reason.
Well, it was more like a plastic bag than a Capri Sun.
Yeah, it's a plastic bag, and it's also it sits like flat. Like there's no structure to it. Capri Suns have that like bottom.
Yeah. Like if you remember the sippy, like I don't know if y'all had sippies, the like juice sippies that it came in the same bag thing, and they just tasted like Kool-Aid. You used to just like bite the corner off and.
Bag milk is so like, so many memories. Anyway, for some reason they thought that this very tricky to open milk would be a great thing for kids to have in schools. So like every week there's someone would fuck up their milk and then had to, clean it all up all over their desks.
The struggles of childhood. No, it's all right to derail. That's what streaming's all about.
That's literally. Listen, I'm here. I'm slightly high. Thank you, Indigenous people. I love you. And I have nothing else to do. So
we're here to hang out and entertain you, chat.
Yes, I am your humble Juche Gang jester.
The Juche Gang jester.
Yes. Hello, my liege.
She's even reading the worst book in the world for your entertainment.
Yes. Okay, so they're in front of the pueblo, and I'm sure he's fine. Sumi cleared her throat. Your dad, I'm sure he's fine. He'll call or turn up any day now. You'll see. I nodded, but I knew where her mind was going. I could see it on her face. I knew because my mind had often gone to the same place this past month, and much more frequently than I was comfortable admitting to myself. And the longer those relentless thoughts lingered in my head, the clearer I saw the images of all the condemned souls being tormented by vile, fiery demons high up in the desolate mountains. Inevitably, my mind also went to Mina. I shook my head. Whenever those silly thoughts invaded my mind, I just wanted to slap some sense into myself. There's no such thing as demons, Adam. And besides, in the stories, only traders of Joseon and the great general ended up in the beastly claws of those fabled demons.
Oh my god!
Like, where are you getting this, girl? What?
Juche is a religion. Kim Il-sung is the god.
Like, Juche would never be like, the people get tortured by demons for being enemies of the state. They get tortured by Koreans. No. They, they
get a stern talking to.
You do it yourself. That's what Juche is. DIY, baby.
Yep. Independence.
Yep. Independence. That's right. Oh, okay. So how about your dream boy, Jaebong? I nudged her side with my elbow. Oh my god, Adam. He's so hot. Sumi moaned.
Moaned.
Moaned. He took me to the park last Sunday and we made out in the grass for like an hour. Of course, I had to make the first move. Otherwise, we would have continued just holding hands for another 2 months.
What
She laughed.
the hell?
Yeah.
Again,
so
I want to remind you, this is an old white guy writing this.
Yeah. No, for real. Like, why are you writing about 14-year-olds moaning? It's weird. I don't like it. So they go to the metro station, they go home, and then they go, like, they resurface on, and go by the Juche Tower, which is what's on the cover of that book.
Yeah, the Juche Tower as is illustrated.
Yep.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep. It's all dark like that. Yeah. And there are always crows.
And barbed wire fencing.
Around. Yeah, barbed wire fencing. Correct. Yep. Adam, do you think the great general really is immortal? Sumi suddenly asked as we near the intensely illuminated obelisk with its swirling crimson flame dancing motionlessly on top. And that is the end of a chapter. Good. Like, how is that the end of a chapter? Like, and then they just continue it from the beginning of chapter 10. Like, so what was the point of breaking it into chapters? Did you have a chapter quota that you had to meet? Like,
yes.
Yes.
That he got paid by the chapter.
Yeah. Where did that come from? I shot her a surprised look. I don't know. She chuckled nervously.
Yeah, Dan, that's a good point. Dancing motionlessly. Again, we get this fantastic writing.
Yep. Quality.
It's like you're trying to be it's like you're trying to add so many descriptive words that you're actually now contradicting, and now you can't imagine, like, what is it, dancing or is it motionless?
Judge Juche by its enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she just asked, can he live forever? I mean, can a person truly live forever? I shook my head as we continued our slow progression along the river. No, a person can't live forever. But the great general is more than a person. He was put on this earth to save our people and ensure no harm ever comes our way again. And he will do so until the end of time. So stop with the weird questions, okay? We stopped by the spotlight.
This is how a white guy is imagining Koreans think in DPRK right there.
Yep.
That's like that. It just like, but I guess the thing that's even more like fucked up though is this is how the average person thinks right there. Like that's in their head, in their imagination. That's like what they're imagining how DPRK works right there.
Yep.
That literal description right there.
And they can't even understand the basics of like of Juche, where they're like, oh yeah, the great general saved us. And it's like, no, that's not even their rhetoric.
Yeah.
Their rhetoric is the Korean people saved themselves with the help of our respected comrade.
Yeah, or under the guidance of our great leader, or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that was the other thing I was gonna say, is like they would never say like he's immortal.
Yeah, no.
What they would say is that his ideas are immortal.
Yeah.
We are making Kim Il-sung immortal because we are carrying on his ideas. We are carrying forward his revolution. Therefore, we have made Kim Il-sung immortal. Hence why he's the eternal president.
It's similar to how they talk about Marx.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah. For real. Kim Il-sung is alive as long as the DPRK, like, exists.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar how they talked about fucking Leninism until, like, Khrushchev and company. It was like, because it was, that's why it's Marxism-Leninism, you know?
Mm-hmm.
His name is literally immortalized in the theory that they were following.
Okay. So we stopped up by the spotlights illuminating Juche Tower, then stood there looking at each other in pressing silence, unsure how to say goodbye. To break the discomfort, I looked up at the blazing Juche flame, like capitalized, capitalized like it's an official name, high above us. It looked very different from this morning when it had bathed in an ocean of fire and light from the rising sun. Now its red glow appeared pale and cold from the naked moonlight. Jesus Christ, the fucking adjectives on this. And the spotlights on the ground. Finally, Sumi stepped forward and hugged me. It was a long and tender embrace. "You're the sister I always wanted," she whispered into my ear. "Thank you, Sumi. You're like a sister to me, too." When we finally let go of each other, Sumi grabbed my shoulders and peered at me with teary eyes. "I'm really, really happy for you, Autumn. You deserve everything that's coming to you." Well, that's true. Now, go home and break up with your family. Break up with your family.
What the? Okay.
Yeah.
So she's joining a cult now.
Yeah. The word count is word counting. Exactly. Yeah, I might skip a lot of this because, like, it's just kind of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Get us to the good part.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. Okay. So, she's talking about in December, all those years ago, the capital was hit hard. Also, okay, that's another thing I noticed is that in this book, she never says Pyongyang. It's always the capital with the C capitalized.
That, well, you know, that's how.
Like the Hunger Games.
Yeah, yep. But also, like Karl Marx's Das Kapital.
Yeah. I don't think this person even knows Marx exists.
No, I don't think so either.
So
the capital where the 3 million elite of DPRK live, by the way.
Was hit hard by a snowstorm that paralyzed the entire city. Still, Mom and Dad defied the weather gods. The weather gods? Again, where is she? Okay. Defied the weather gods every day to visit Nadi at the hospital, where she had been for 3 whole weeks after her heart.
Yeah, the weather gods. You know how Koreans like are. You believe in many gods, right? And all kinds of demons, right? Yep. Paganism, right?
Yep.
Like this is just somebody who has no idea about Korean history or culture at all.
No, it gets worse. So my sister had the monumental misfortune to enter this world with a severe congenital heart defect. Only 3 minutes after I was born, perfectly healthy and already strong as an ox. The defect was so severe, the doctors didn't expect her to survive a week, but she did, and much longer than that. So
oh no.
What?
Where's that going?
The baffled doctors eventually informed us that she needed surgery, but it wouldn't be possible until her body was strong enough to withstand it. In other words, if she made it to the age of 10, she could have a chance to live a long and full life. But it was a big if. And during the culmination of that massive snowstorm, her health was more fragile than ever. It started with a series of fits. Her whole body shook and spasmed in uncontrollable convulsions. Fits were nothing new or unusual for Nari, but now they were more intense and frequent than ever before. And in addition to these terrifying convulsions, she vomited a lot, often several times a day. Other times she was coughing her lungs out and had difficulty breathing. But the scariest part of all was when her skin started turning blue. That was when she was put on around-the-clock observation, and we didn't know she could come home from the hospital if she would come home at all. Mom had long since given up her demanding acting career at the Capitol Theater to care for Nadi. It was a heart-wrenching sacrifice that nearly destroyed her, since the theater had been her whole life up until becoming a mother. Of course, for her understudies, it was the best news of their lives. They could barely conceal their joy during the brief transition, which rubbed even more salt into her wound. This is like, I don't... this is such a weird detail. Like, what?
This descriptive writing pisses me off so much, and like, he zooms in and spends so much time on this bullshit that just like has nothing to do with the story. It's just like over explaining these ridiculous details. It's like, is this even like, what is this? It has A, nothing to do with the story, and B, it's not giving me any kind of like visualization or description of the place at all, you know?
So she had to get a job as a low-level secretary in the Minister of Agriculture, who was a friend of her dad. So she could take time off to like care for this girl's little sister. Her dad works at the Ministry of Food Distribution. He worked directly under Grandpa Hyunwoo, the ministry's founder. Whom no one could accuse of being a family man. For him, a citizen of Chosun should first and foremost be married to the work they did for their country and the great general.
Good.
Yeah. Their actual family came second.
Good. Fuck your family. Your family's terrible.
Yep. So her parents spent most of the day out of the home, came home long after dark, and only had enough energy for a quick bite before going straight to bed. When I asked to go with them, they said they didn't have time to come home and get me, and I shouldn't be distracted from my schoolwork. It also became my job to keep the apartment clean, but even if I understood the need to grow up and take on this extra responsibility from my family, a creeping suspicion grew inside me that maybe they just didn't want me at the hospital. I mean, yeah, because you're a bitch. Like, you're not.
I wouldn't want you around me either. To be fair,
yeah. So on the weekends, they
you sympathize with everybody who's like against this person. Is the funny thing.
Yeah, for real. Weekends were different. They went to see Nadia as a family. I could allow my eerie suspicions to temporarily retreat to my subconsciousness. What the fuck are you suspicious about? And also, aren't you like 8?
Yeah, I mean that's part of, I guess, the contradiction in writing this. Like, supposedly she's not yet awakened, yet suspicious.
Yeah.
It's like Yeonmi Park's story, right? Like, I didn't feel anything. They didn't have words for love, but I knew something was wrong. Like, it can't be both those things can't be true. You either realize something is wrong, or you're fucking brainwashed into the system. You're not just gonna like stumble out and then like, oh look, now I'm awake.
Yeah. So they go to visit the sister at the hospital.
It's like the internal dialogue of Drake or some horrible fucking person like this, you know? Like, just like, that's what I'm... Seriously, like, everything they describe, it's just like, this is some horrible, like, think of the worst person you know, and this is them.
So the room was really tense. Mom and Dad sat motionlessly on their chairs beside the hospital bed for hours. Youngil, so, like, not Dad... So why sometimes is it mom and dad, but other times it's their name? Like, so dad usually seems so strong and unaffected by life's hardships, appeared to mentally escape miles away from the harsh reality of his daughter's hospital room. Mom, on the other hand, was acutely present and sobbed quietly the entire time. Few words were uttered during these visits. Sometimes Nadi had a fit, and the room transformed into a full-blown chaotic panic. I mean, panic is inherently chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dad stormed out to get help so fast he didn't even notice his rickety chair slamming to the floor with an ear-shattering bang. Oh my god, this writing is
He didn't even notice his what? That sentence makes no sense.
This writing fucking hurts.
He didn't even notice his chair to the ground with the ear shatter. If it was an ear shattering bang, he noticed it, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah.
I fucking hate descriptive writing like that. Like,
yep.
You're just writing extra words to write extra words.
In a way, I was relieved that they didn't let me visit her on weekends. Those intense moments were just too much to bear, too terrifying. But I didn't like being home alone either. I yearned for more time with mom and dad, maybe even some brief but undivided parental attentions. But those childish yearnings remained far beyond my reach. So one night her parents come home late, like really, really late. And she wasn't asleep. She like crept down the stairs to like see what they were doing. And then she's like, oh, I should go join them. I could be the good girl I always was and make them a cup of tea. Maybe even comfort them with a few well-needed hugs. So she tiptoes out of the room, deftly avoiding the squeaky floorboard in the middle. Irrelevant?
Definitely.
So she's about to go down the hallway, and then she hears her parents talking. There's still hope, I heard Dad say. It's not over. There's still hope. I stopped dead in my tracks and held my breath. Knowing my father's voice, I could tell when he was trying to convince himself more than mom. Again, you're 10 years old. She didn't answer, but I could hear her silent sobs like echoes from another world. If they're silent, like, how are you hearing them?
There's so many of those oxymorons in his writing it's really driving me up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
The silent footsteps, the still dancing, like, what the fuck? Elmac, thank you so much.
I don't know what I would do if she died, Mom sniffed. I don't think I could go on living. Don't even think about that, Dad said in a somber voice. She won't die. I refuse to believe it. She's strong. She'll pull through. We will pull through as a family. Doctors are wrong all the time. I can't live without her, all caps. Mom's shriek was so sudden it made me jump. Gasping for air, she then continued through distressed sobs. She means everything to me. Everything. Without her, there's no life, no meaning. I can't go on living without her. So Adam is hearing this in the hallway. And she's like crying. She's like, is my sister gonna die? And then she's like thinking about what her mom said. She means everything to me, she had said. Nadi means everything to me. Then what about me? If Nadi means everything, does that imply that I mean nothing? Will mom and dad resent me for Nadi's death? And when they look at me, will they secretly wish I had died instead of their favorite daughter?
Yep. I would.
Yep. So
I would, at this point, I would. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie to you. Adam or whatever. Sorry.
So this is just like a flashback in the middle of, like, it's a very randomly placed flashback. So she's supposed to be like walking home from the station, and this is all happening in the span of the time that she's walking home. And then the flashback ends with that chaos of clashing thoughts and conflicting feelings wreaking havoc inside me. I turned right into my street without sensing that something was off. In the absence of functioning streetlights, darkness enveloped me, and I could barely see the ground under my feet. This was usually not a problem since I had memorized every inch of the treacherous minefield of potholes leading up to my building. But tonight, this omnipresent darkness was the real reason I didn't notice the large truck parked across the sidewalk until I was just a few yards away. Strange. I haven't seen any kind of vehicle around here in ages. As my eyes slowly adapted, I recognized the unmistakable army truck shape with the tent-like cover over the cargo area. I knew the type painfully well. They used the same uncomfortable monsters to bring school children from the capital to the surrounding state farms for the annual harvest, leaving our bodies beaten blue and purple for days. From riding in a truck?
What the fuck?
I slowed my
potholes just cratering the ground like fucking. Yeah. There's just potholes everywhere, even on the grass, chat. Okay.
Yep. So I slowed my pace, nearing the truck, with caution. I didn't see anyone around, but I could swear I sensed a presence. And just then, something frighteningly familiar appeared in the imposing blackness at the center of the truck.
The Demon of Yodok?
A rapid succession of chills down my defenseless spine. This author likes to, like, put that word in, like...
The defenseless, yeah.
Defenseless spine? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's weird. There before me.
Oh no, I can't defend my spine. Or something, right?
Yeah. Before me in the night air floated an intensely glowing red dot.
The cigarette!
The Demon of Yodok smokes cigarettes.
He's puffing on the cigarette!
So she's like crashing out internally. Why is the military here? Has something happened? Does this have anything to do with Youngil, Dad? The truck was parked right in front of the entrance, barely leaving enough space for one person to squeeze through, and I would have to pass the smoking man to reach it. I swallowed, observing the red dot floating upward through the darkness, briefly intensifying its glow, then floating back down as a cloud of smoke erupted from the shadows. How do you see smoke in the shadows?
With night vision?
Despite my efforts to act indifferent, my body grew increasingly stiff and reluctant with every step. Why am I letting this get to me? Or is it just remnant tension from the tryouts?
Remnant tension
is like the way to say it.
The specter of tension is haunting.
Yeah. It's haunting Anno. As I neared the truck, the red dot suddenly dropped to the ground and disappeared. The rasp of a heavy boot grinding it to shreds against the coarse asphalt pierced the fragile silence separating us. Fucking this writing style.
I hate it so much.
Skip.
There's too many adjectives.
I'm just gonna skip the fucking adjectives. So there's like this whole paragraph with it, which is just he lit another cigarette and continued smoking, but it's like 300 words.
This smoking guy.
Yeah. So he has a lighter up and then he flicks it back so it's dark again. The floating red dot and the glowing impressions the darkness returned once more, effectively erasing everything but the floating red dot and the glowing impressions of his eyes etched on my retinas. By now, I knew without a doubt that they were the same ones I had felt observing me ever since this morning. But why? A horrible thought popped into my mind. Are they here because of Kyung-suk? Because of what I did to her? But if so, why was he already here this morning? They couldn't have known what I was going to do. I didn't even know myself. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's why you.
Okay, so now they're like the Minority Report. DPRK soldiers Minority Report confirmed. They knew she was gonna commit the crime before, and the gulager is there waiting for her to commit the crime.
Oh my god. And she does the I noticed I was holding my breath thing. It's so annoying. So she's walking past the soldier. The soldier says, "Lovely evening, isn't it?" Abruptly breaking the silence through a cloud of smoke.
And the soldier says, "Tip of the morning, do ya?"
Top of the morning. The way the voices are described in this book also is so strange. You'll see. Like, somehow his voice.
Virgo, it's a crime to think about getting the wrong haircut, bud.
It was strangely deep, but at the same time soft. Young, but manly. What? For a split second, I contemplated answering him, but instead I hurried past him, squeezing myself between the truck and the front door. Something deep inside screamed at me to get far away from this man. I made contact with the door handle. I threw a nervous glance behind me and noticed the smoker wasn't alone. In the driver's seat of the truck was another man, but he appeared to be sleeping. Without another moment's hesitation, I jerked the door open and slipped inside. She describes her building as tomb-like, which is, yeah.
I'm here in my tomb-like streaming room. I get it.
Yep. I just placed my foot on the first step when a series of thuds reverberated down the stairwell. The thuds then stopped and were replaced by loud voices. First, a strong male voice I didn't recognize. Though muffled through the walls, the level of revulsion and inherent authority it contained was unmistakable. It scared me, but it was the second voice that made my heart drop. "Mom?" I hurried up the first flight of stairs. The voices grew louder, but then abruptly stopped. "Mom?" A loud bang made me jump and let out a high-pitched shriek, but then I froze. The sound hadn't come from above, but from the entrance hall behind me. I turned around slowly and peered down into the dimly lit space, knowing beforehand what I would find there. The smoking soldier stood, leaning against the entrance door with a fresh cigarette in his mouth. He took a deep drag, making the burning embers at the end flare into an intensely red glow. He didn't move, but his gaze was fixed on me, and underneath his ghostly eyes, an unmistakable smirk was taking place.
What for a second there, I was just picturing the guy puffing so hard in his cigarette, it like bursts into flames and just like catches the whole fucking room on fire or something.
Floating red dot guy is aura forming. Yes. Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't feed the people because the DPRK budget is going all to this guy's cigarettes. We're working on the movie, NTC.
Yep.
Julia's gonna be starring in it.
No, fuck no. I don't want to be this bitch. As I reached the first landing, the angry male voice once again blasted down the stairwell. I heard the woman as well, but not her voice, only her desperate sobbing. "Mom, what are they doing to you?" Fighting off a sudden wave of nausea, I turned my attention to our hallway, which was nearly unrecognizable with the heaps of our belongings. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped a page. You might have missed some amazing prose. I'm so sorry, guys. Going back.
No.
I continued climbing the stairs 2 at a time until I reached my floor. The soldier wasn't following me, but I kept throwing frightened glances over my shoulder every 2 seconds to be sure. Just as I slowly neared our front door, a painful lump tightened in my chest next to my racing heart. Just as I grabbed the handle, a movement in the corner of my eye caught my attention. The smoking soldier now stood at the top of the staircase. How did he manage to climb the stairs without making any noise? Chuche ninjutsu.
He floated.
Chuche ninjutsu.
The specter of Juche floats up staircases.
Yep. Before I could finish my thought, the door flew open from the inside and smashed into my forehead. W for that door. So she's like tearing up and fell backwards. I thought I heard something out here, a man said, grabbing my arm to prevent me from falling. At first, my dazed mind was grateful for being saved, but when the man jerked me into our apartment, I shrieked from shock and the sudden pain shooting through my arm. Hey, the second daughter is back, he yelled at someone in another room. The man ordered me to sit down. But then thrust me to the floor before I even had time to react, sending my head banging against the hallway wall. Okay. So the smoking soldier's at the door, looking and watching. Corporal Lee, get in here, the man who had pushed me snapped, and close the damn door behind you. Good evening, Lieutenant Sun. You made us wait, Lieutenant Sun said flatly, his voice failing to hide his irritation. Did you run into problems? Corporal Lee shook his head. With the cigarette securely lodged in the corner of his mouth, he entered the light of our hallway and removed his military cap, at last revealing his features to me. What surprised me wasn't how big he was, even though he was almost a head taller than Lieutenant Sun. It was instead how solidly built he was, muscular even. All other tall guys I had seen in my life looked like walking skeletons, and I had just assumed they couldn't look any other way.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The starving DPRK tall guys.
Yep. In the bright light of the ceiling lamp, I couldn't detect a trace of the ghostly eyes I'd spotted during the day, and was astounded by how handsome he was. Girl, he's like an adult, and you're like 14.
Again,
calm down.
Old man is writing this.
Yep. At first, his thick black hair lay flatly to the back from wearing his cap for too long. But when he ran his hand through it to loosen it up, it instantly doubled in volume. But more than his hair, I was fascinated by his face, which retained a distinct boyish features that strikingly contrasted his massive body, belonging to a fully grown man.
What the fuck? She just described Hassan.
My best guess looking at his face put his age below 20, but his imposing size made him look closer to 25. Under normal circumstances, an attractive man like this would have made me blush, but at this moment, the only emotion consuming me was overwhelming panic from this bizarre situation I'd stumbled into. Seeing the distress on my face, Corporal Lee shot me a smug smirk, which in a terrifying way summarized the day I had unknowingly spent with him. Okay. So she turns to her hallway, and her family shit is scattered everywhere, and she doesn't see her mom and sister. So she's thinking, like, who are these men? What are they doing here? What have they done to my family? Shifting my eyes to Lieutenant Sun, I noticed he was wearing a strange uniform. The capital always crawled with soldiers and officers of all ranks, so I had learned to distinguish them by their clothes. But I had never seen this kind of intimidating attire before in my life. The glossy black shoes transitioned seamlessly into a pitch black uniform and overcoat, crowned by an equally pitch black officer's cap. What part of the military does he belong to? Um, Coming back to myself, I tried to protest, but I couldn't get my mouth to articulate words. Instead, I got up from the floor. I have to find Mom and Nadi. A powerful kick to my chest deflated my lungs. Sparta kicked her. Stay down, Lieutenant's son barked, towering over me like some mythic tar pit monster. What the fuck does that mean?
The mythic tar pit monsters that Juche
I don't know
often
what that
talks
means.
about.
Like, genuinely, I have no idea what the fuck that means. Yeah, what? Okay, so she's crying on the floor. Because she got Sparta kicked in the chest. Where's my family? What have you done with them? However, my words were ignored by the two men fully occupied by going through our cherished earthly possessions. Using both hands, I finally succeeded in removing the wet chunks of hair from my face. Chunks of hair? My hair has never been chunky.
Yeah, the descriptions are so bad.
Yeah. Wiped the tears from my eyes and looked around for any indication of where they could be, her mom and sister. But just then a soft sobbing emerged from the living room. I got up again, but was once more kicked back down. This time my reflexes were slow and my head slammed into the hard floorboards. All right. A third man entered the hallway. He was older and wore the same pitch black uniform as Lieutenant's son, but he had stripes on his shoulders. Ah, good. You're all here, he said, then turned to Corporal Lee. We started to worry you weren't going to show. Was this little girl too much for you to handle? Corporal Lee wiped the smirk off his face, threw the cigarette butt on our polished floor, and put it out with the thick sole of his army boot. This one decided to go partying by the river after tryouts, Captain Pan. So, Pan? Like in Korean, like that last name, Pan, would be romanized with a B.
Yeah.
Because it's Pan, like in Korean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that was a reason not to bring her home? Captain Pan's unblinking, steely eyes scrutinized his subordinate. Did this 14-year-old girl intimidate you? Corporal Lee slumped down, fiddling with his cigarette carton as his face took on a hint of red. There was no point creating a scene out in public, he retorted, his voice suddenly devoid of confidence. In this way, she came home quietly by herself without causing any problems. Captain Pan didn't look convinced and kept his unwavering gaze on the corporal. At that point, I couldn't bear it any longer. I sat up and filled my lungs to the bursting point with air. What have you done with my mother and sister? I bellowed, feeling the tears streaming down my cheeks like warm rivers. Descriptions?
Weird.
Yep. So, chapter 12. Who are you? I demanded. What do you want from us? Mom, are you there? I couldn't remember the last time I had called my mother Mom. Why? Like, actually, why?
Again, the Bart Simpson thing.
But at that moment, all the festering resentment inhabiting my heart evaporated in the blink of an eye. Autumn, honey, please stay quiet. My mother's broken voice suddenly seeped out from the bedroom. Everything will be okay. Just stay quiet and do what they say. We'll sort all of this out.
No, this is not from our okay, Manticore. This is definitely from fucking USA, bud.
Yep.
This is definitely a white person trying to, like, write about Korea.
Yes, because they don't know anything. Like, actually. You better listen to your mother if you know what's good for you, Captain Pan snarled. Now stay there and be quiet. Looking up at his absurdly black uniform, it suddenly struck me that this was perhaps all just a bad dream, and all I needed to do to end it was to wake up. I immediately closed my eyes and thrust my fingernails deep into my thighs, but the ensuing pang of pain failed to bring me back to reality. Why are you writing about her thighs? Weird. What's happening? Really nothing. Okay. The three soldiers went back to ignoring me. They stomped around the apartment, ransacking every room and wreaking havoc on our belongings. I could hear them throwing books on the living room floor, rummaging through our clothes in the closets and drawers, clinking our fine china and silverware in the kitchen. Corporal Lee came carrying my mother's jewelry case from the bedroom, and when I noticed Dad's gold watch on his wrist, I almost lunged at him to take back what was ours. But remembering Lieutenant Sun's footprint on my chest stopped me at the last minute. Corporal Lee and Lieutenant Sun kept making crude jokes that they both laughed at when they were alone, but they instantly stopped whenever Captain Pan walked by, incoherently muttering to himself while scribbling in his battered notepad with his pitch black fountain pen. It looked like he was making some sort of list. Yes, we get it. They wear all black like they're the fucking Nazis. We understand. We fucking get it. Yeah, Hugo Boss designed their uniforms.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's repackaged.
Yep. So she gets jerked to her feet by Lieutenant Sun, and dragged, I think, dragged me down the hall into my parents' bedroom. And her mom was inside, sitting on the side of the bed and holding her sister Nani in her arms. I stared back at Mom, wordlessly demanding an explanation, but she just lowered her eyes to the floor and leaned her head against my silently weeping sister. My mom's arms remained tightly wrapped around her, creating an imaginary shield against the intruders. And even though the futility was almost laughable at this point, I would have done anything to trade places with my twin. She has like issues. Like, she has issues with her sister, for real.
Yeah.
She keeps like questioning, like, who are these people? Tell me what's going on, yelling at them, and yelling at like her mom to tell me what's going on. And her mom threw a scared look at the doorway and said, Adam, I'm sorry, but please just do what they say. Don't make it worse. Sorry for what? I demanded. Make what worse? Who are these people? Mom swallowed and the redness in her eyes deepened. You must believe me, Adam. I don't know what this is about. Only that these men will take us somewhere. They will take us to where your father is. I glanced around the room as if expecting to see Youngula peering from thin air, but then had to return my disappointed gaze to my mother. And where is Dad? Is he still on a business trip? A throbbing pain around my temple made it difficult to focus on our soundless conversation. It's not soundless if you're having a conversation. Jeez.
If I took a shot for every oxymoron, I'd be drunk as fuck right now.
You would think that if the DPR, if AI wrote this, that it would know not to.
I mean, that's the thing. That's why I don't think AI wrote this.
Right. Because I don't know.
This is just written by some fucking jackass who does not care about anything other than selling the book.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just so dog shit. I don't know. Anyway. So the three men returned to the bedroom. Mrs. Kim Sun-hee, Captain Pan said, without any distinguishable expression on his gray, leathery face. He pointed at a paper lying on the bed beside my mother that I hadn't noticed before. The truck is leaving shortly. I strongly advise you to sign that paper. If you don't, you will be on it as well. What about my children? My mom's broken voice suddenly had a distinct sharpness to it. Your children are going, but you don't have to. All you need to do is sign that document. I glanced at the crumpled paper on the bed. The writing was too small to read from where I sat, but I distinguished the word divorce in the headline. What is this? What the hell is going on here? Mom scoffed and flicked the paper to the floor with a look of disgust. And what kind of mother would I be if I stayed and let them go? They will be taken care of, Captain Penn said calmly, without paying any attention to the discarded document. They will be with their father. And where is he? Mom cried in an unbecomingly high-pitched voice. What is the unbecoming? Like, your mom is being interrogated by a death squad captain, presumably, like, and you're saying that her high-pitched voice is unbecoming. Like,
yes.
Even her narration.
Decorum matters.
Yeah. Where's my husband? The captain's only answer was a blank stare. I won't sign it. She finally averted her eyes and stared at the ground in front of her. Wherever you're taking them, I'm going too. And you understand the implications of your decision, Captain Pans asked. Of course. What implications? You haven't told us anything. Mom growled, and I saw Nari burying her face even deeper into her mother's neck. But it doesn't matter. My mind is made up. Where they go, I go. So you can throw that damned paper in the trash. Very well then, it's decided. You have 15 minutes until the truck leaves. You can bring some clothes, kitchen utensils, food, and other things you might need. But only as much as the three of you can carry by yourselves.
Very well, it's decided. You go to prison too. Immediately on the spot.
Yep. Corporal Lee, you keep an eye on them. When none of us moved, Captain Pan sighed, rolling his eyes. I assure you, Mrs. Kim, you don't want to leave on that truck without bringing in as much food and cooking utensils as you possibly can. But it's up to you, of course. He glanced at his wristwatch. You now have 14 minutes. So her mom gets up, starts packing stuff, but when my mother tried to pack some of our fine china plates, he cleared his throat and took a menacing step toward us. Not those, he raised his finger. Mom nodded that she understood. For me, it took a few more seconds before I realized they were going to keep those for themselves or give them to the department. She shifted to another cabinet.
The state stealing the fine china.
The fine china, yep. Of our plain everyday bowls instead. As we converged in an impromptu circle in the middle of the kitchen to pack large rice sacks into a couple of shoulder bags, I seized the opportunity. Mom, please talk to me.
Communism took my fine china, chat.
I don't know if this was proofread. For real.
Yeah, I think you just, like, this is... I don't know. This sounds like it was just like a rough draft and then just went with that.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, Mom, talk to me. You must know something. What was
I don't think it is LLM output. This was written before LLMs were that great, and it just seems like this is like teen writer slop.
Could go either way, honestly. What was the paper? Are you and Dad getting a divorce? I'm not going to divorce your father, Adam. She flushed, throwing a scared glance at Corporal Lee, who now stood leaning against the doorway. I don't know any more than you do, but I do know that if you don't take food and clothes, things will become very difficult for us. So please just focus on this for now, okay? There will be plenty of time to talk later. Right now, our lives depend on what we manage to pack in the coming few minutes. Do you understand? I stared at her incredulously, but I slowly began grasping the severity of our predicament, so I nodded and went back to work. Mom spent the remaining minutes moving around the kitchen like a whirlwind, all while shooting rapid commands at Nadia and me. Together, we gathered the remaining rice bags, pots, and pans, our emergency oil lamp, towels, and many durable clothes for all seasons that we could carry. It's time. Get them ready. Captain Pan ordered from the hallway, and Corporal Lee nodded at us to get moving. Mom and I took the heaviest bags with rice and kitchen utensils, as well as the biggest bags with our winter clothes and quilts. Nadi took the lighter bags with our summer clothes and underwear. So they go out of the apartment and down the stairs. Some of the neighbors who had been peeking out from their apartments to see what was going on closed and locked their doors as soon as they saw us coming. The driver who had been asleep, the driver of the truck stands smoking next to the truck, opens the door, gets back in the driver's seat. Like, again, like, what is why do you, like, a whole paragraph of what
because
this
they're just making it again. They got no material. Their whole book is this speller. It's so bad.
So they're in the truck's cargo area. There's nowhere to sit but on the dirty wooden floor stretching from side to side. Mom unpacked a couple of quilts for us to use as cushions. Corporal Lee came up behind us and sat at the end of the cargo area. I guess it's my fate to spend the entire day with this creepy guy. But at least now I'm aware of it. We'll send you your share next week. Lieutenant Sun will see to it, Captain Pan muttered to Corporal Lee before disappearing back into our building. The engine made a couple of strained attempts to come to life, then finally ignited with a roar. A loud squeal of the gearbox sent the truck moving with a jolt that almost made us fall over. I guess it's only the four of us on this trip to... to... Before finishing my thought, I caught myself picturing a black pit filled with hideous red-eyed demons, stringing people up on large poles before slowly and meticulously skinning them alive. No, that can't be where we're going. It can't be. Yeah.
Ow.
So they are going to Yodok, I guess.
They're going to the concentration camp.
Yes, they are. And it's so funny when they get there. I'm sorry. Like, I never thought I would say that, but, like, they were going to the concentration camp and I was fucking dying laughing. Like,
it's so bad.
It's, honestly, like, the writing is painful. But,
yeah, like, very painful.
So they're in the back of the truck. See ya. Okay.
The cat's like, this is torture.
Yeah, my cat's tired of listening to it too. So there's like a rip in the cloth of the like military truck. So she like looks through to see where they're going. And they're driving through the night. Glanced over at Corporal Lee, who observed us with a tired expression. The gleeful smirk he had displayed in the apartment was gone. As he lit yet another cigarette, I couldn't help but wonder how many packs he smoked a day.
There it is.
He's like, he smoked all the cigarettes.
There it is, chat.
Like Stalin smoked all the, ate all the grain.
That's it. Yodok concentration camp.
That just looks like a fucking village, man.
Nope, Yodok concentration camp.
Yep.
It's not a logging camp, it's a concentration camp.
Okay, sorry, what's going on? So she's like super curious and she like keeps thinking that she wants to know what's going on. So she can't stand it anymore and turns to the corporal and says, "Sir, excuse me, but we're already in the truck. Can't you please tell us where we're going?" Mom shot me a horrified look, which intensified as she timidly turned to the smoking guard. "You'll see soon enough," he replied, his disturbingly casual voice barely reaching us over the insistent thrumming of the engine. "But don't worry, it's not a bad place, and your father will be there. You'll be together again." "Is he all right?" Mom suddenly whimpered, throwing caution to the wind. He's fine, Corporal Lee smiled. I've seen him myself. His sudden shift in tone took me off guard, but instead of feeling comforted by his words, his odd smile caused a painful knot to tighten in my stomach. He also hadn't answered my question, but I knew better than to ask again. But which was further reinforced by the cautioning glare my mother sent me. Looking back out through the rip in the tent cloth, I stroked the great general pin firmly attached over my heart. It felt unnaturally cold and rugged against my finger and didn't comfort me in the way it always did. Because you're getting rid of your indoctrination. You're fighting against it. Even though I knew it didn't work that way, I closed my eyes and prayed that the great general would come and rescue me. To save me from whatever this was. As I opened my eyes, I couldn't diminish the disappointment that my father, the great general, had not magically appeared before me.
Oh my god.
But that didn't stop me from trying again and again. So, like, you didn't learn anything from Juche, like, at all. Because you're praying for a savior. For real. So, they're driving through the city, and she's describing an arch. Because in it's like two women in hanbok, holding a sphere that is supposed to depict a united Joseon. I think that's actually a real statue. I can't be sure though, but I'm pretty sure like that might be an actual statue. Anyway, whatever it was, our teachers had told us it symbolized the reunification of our war-torn country, today mercilessly severed in half. It wasn't clear to me when exactly this would happen, but it would be as soon as we managed to liberate our poor southern countrymen who still suffered under the brutal puppet regime our enemies installed several decades ago. That's the only true thing that like is in this book.
Amazing it managed to get that right.
Right? So they're going through, like they're driving along, and
how fucking long does it take to get to this concentration camp, for God's sakes?
I don't know.
Let's get to the part where they're at the concentration camp. What happens then?
Okay, but this is kind of funny. She's talking about how the ride is so bumpy. And I wondered if all roads outside the capital consisted exclusively of potholes.
No, that's Canada.
This girl also said that there were so many potholes in Pyongyang too.
Right, yeah.
So like
it's like a crater-pocked city, really.
Yep. So okay, let's go. Okay, so she sleeps on the truck. She's like super jealous that her mom and sister are cuddling together for warmth. She's like looking at them resentfully, and it's like, you could just go over there and cuddle with them too, but you don't. When she wakes up, she could discern a man and a woman and their son, so they picked someone else up. The truck is going up the mountain. And she's like, we're going up into the mountains. We're going to where the demons are. By midday, my entire body ached, beaten black and blue by the uneven road. How is it that bad? Like,
the potholes in your country are so bad, you're black and blue by the time you get to your location. Damn. Damn. The real oppression in DPRK comes from the potholes. I didn't. All right.
The roads are just that bad.
The whole book is her suffering from fucking potholes.
You just die if you drive in the DPRK.
Yeah. You gotta be you can't drive too much at any given time. You die from pothole damage.
The The way she describes food. Oh my god, I highlighted this passage because it was just so stupid. Oh my god. Okay, so her mom takes out 2 rice balls, and I don't know what that is. Like, we don't really, we don't have rice balls. We have like rice, like,
yeah, like rice cakes or whatever.
Well, it would be like a roll and cut into slices.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've seen like dessert,
rice
like
are...
rice cake things as well.
Yeah, but rice balls are, I think, more like of a Japanese thing. Anyway, so she gives it to her and her sister, but doesn't take one for herself. She like eats it in like 2 bites. The mix of sweetness and saltiness danced in magnificent splendor across my craving palates.
I hate the way this guy writes so much.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. The only thing disturbing my perfect bliss were the jealous glances from the other family, and I noticed that they only had 1 small bag with them. Weren't they allowed to bring more? Or didn't they have anything else to bring? Okay. Skipping. Okay. After a couple hours, truck stopped in a tiny village consisting of a group of worn-down 3-story concrete buildings by the side of the road. They looked astoundingly out of place where they stood, surrounded by nothing but farmland and long stretches of barren gray rocks. Still, ending up here was no stranger than anything else happening to us in the past half day, so we gathered our things and began disembarking the truck. Only to be met by Corporal Lee's raised hand. This is not your destination. An elderly couple boarded the truck. Instantly, the space in the cargo area became tighter.
Oh my god, they're still on the way?
Yes, I'm sorry. So the old woman is talking to this other woman. Their interaction was brief. And the old woman turned back to her husband after uttering a single word. But that word had been enough to drain the blood from the woman's face, and her eyes expressed pure, unadulterated terror. As she leaned over to tell her husband, the terror transmitted to him as well. What word is it, do you think?
Yodok.
Yep.
And this is Yodok. This is where they're going, chat.
So the mom gives 1 rice bag to like the family that doesn't have any food, whatever. Thank you. The woman sobbed. Thank the great general. There are still good people in this world. What did they tell you? The husband glanced at Corporal Lee, horror written on his face. Yodok. She said we are headed for Yodok. Mom, what is Yodok? But she didn't respond. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Okay.
Her mom shouldn't have watched those fucking Disney movies, I guess.
Yeah. Holy shit, man. They just fucking... Okay. Oh my god. It starts to rain. They're... yeah, it starts to rain. They're in the truck. It's miserable. Just then, 4 words carried through the hammering of the rain. They were shrill and filled with dread. They came from the old woman, the one who had known where we were going. At first, I wasn't sure I heard it right, but after replaying them in my head, no doubts remained, and I felt my blood freeze to ice in my veins. She had definitely said, "The Demon of Yodok." That's a title drop, guys. That's what we call a title drop.
That ruined title drops for me. I now hate title drops.
Yeah, that was the worst title drop in the world. Okay. They're finally at the gate. The soldiers are, like, bantering with each other. What's up, Changmin? Finished your vacation in the capital, I see. Hope your lazy days of shopping and fancy restaurants haven't made you go too soft on us. Never, Corporal Lee laughed. So are you gonna let us in or what? That depends. Did you bring us anything nice from the big city? I've got something I think you'll like, Corporal Lee winked, and I couldn't help but wonder if that something possibly happened to originate from our looted apartment.
Oh my god.
Okay, so they're looking at the camp. After a while, we arrived at what looked like a bizarre imitation of a city. The planners appeared to have simply forgotten to include anything but residential houses. There were no stores, no marketplaces, no monuments, or anything else for that matter. Just stretched out, single-story wooden houses. Thousands of them. All perfectly identical, standing in impeccable rows along narrow side roads as far as the eye could reach. At the entrance to the deranged city stood a large hand-painted sign reading "The Rose Garden" in uneven red letters. The sign had even been decorated with a poorly painted red rose in the upper right corner. This is just DSA headquarters.
Yep. I was gonna say.
I scanned my surroundings.
The Social Democrats are the ones torturing everybody. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Okay, there you go. Fucking Mom Donnie strikes again.
That's right. Mom Donnie wants to do this to her children.
This is what's happening to New York right now.
That's right. Okay, so further, so there, some people are getting off, but not them. They're still like in the truck in the camp. Like further up the road, I could discern a constellation of larger buildings, the only ones that seemed to have any form of electric light seeping out from them. The roads were all but deserted, but I finally detected some people walking around here and there. At least I assumed they were people, considering they were wearing something vaguely resembling clothes. But that aside, they looked more like filthy animals roaming the streets. They all wore the same dirt gray rags held together by flaking, sewed-on patches and crusted mud. Their faces were covered with a thick layer of dirt, and so was their short, disheveled hair. It was even impossible to distinguish the men from the women, especially in the dim moonlight. Some of them had worn-out shoes, but most were... What?
Why is that detail important? It's hard to discern the men from the women, sir.
There's a lot of weird shit like that. No, there's a lot of real weird shit like that. You'll see. Most just wore rags wrapped around their feet. Something about them made me remember Ji-young from school, the girl who passed out from hunger. A couple of hunched creatures passing by. Wow. Great dehumanization of the poor. Stared shamelessly at my clean, fashionable, capital-style attire. I stared back at them, and not even in disgust, just in pure bewilderment of how a human being could have been reduced to that. And it wasn't just their appearance. Apart from a minuscule hint of curiosity in their eyes, their expressions conveyed nothing but exhaustion and hopelessness. They frightened me. All of this frightened me. Okay, so I don't even know. Nothing's fucking happening. It's just her thinking.
That's so bad. How much longer is there in this book?
Yeah, no, the pacing is fucking terrible. So there's like a young boy who comes to greet them. And for some reason, this writer chooses to highlight the "Hi, Changmin." He greeted Corporal Lee in an almost feminine voice that perfectly matched his face. And this is brought up again and again.
It's like me for real.
Yeah. So they get assigned a house in the orchid garden. And everyone else goes to the rose garden. They're getting like the tour by this young feminine boy, and his name is Chul, which is so Korean names, like 95% of them have 2 syllables. That's like my Korean name is Haesuk, right? And like you wouldn't really have someone who's just named like Suk,
Yeah.
because that would be weird, right? Like my name would be Chong Haesuk. But this guy's name is Chul, just 1 syllable, and it's just kind of like, do you know how? Anyway, like it's not impossible, but it's rare. Like it's really rare to have that, to have one syllable name. So they get a house. You're lucky. Very few families get these. I'll be back for you in the morning to take you to orientation. Please stay indoors until I come back. Of course, if you need to use the toilet, it's over there at the end of the street. I froze to the ground. We don't even have our own toilet. We have to share with those animals.
Not the pores.
She's actually the fucking worst human being. Like, I swear to God.
She has to share with the pores.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? This is Yodok concentration camp, Virgo. This is a real live picture of Yodok concentration camp in DPRK, where countless victims have been tortured, as you can tell by this satellite image.
So their new home is a tiny house consisting of a single room, no furnitures, no beds, not even a window. The only thing the room contained was a bare light bulb hanging from the ceiling, a small stack of firewood.
Oh, of course, it's the bare light bulb from the ceiling. Yep. Every white person's worst nightmare.
Stack of firewood by one wall, and a tripod stand for tea kettles or cooking pots in the middle of the room. The tripod stood on a round concrete section that had been permanently scorched and blackened by fire. I found the light switch on the wall. It didn't work, which wasn't all that surprising. What shook me to my core, however, was that not a single wall carried a picture of our father, the great general. As far as I could remember, I had not a single memory of being in a room where his calm gaze hadn't watched over me. Yeah. They get unpacked and they eat another.
The idea that the re-education prisons would deprive you of pictures of Kim Il-sung is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they talk, but they justify that later. Okay, so they're like, it starts to rain and thunder, and in the doorway stood a huge dark shape surrounded by a flashing light. It looked monstrous, demonic, and when Nani sat up screaming beside me, I knew it wasn't just a bad dream. I pressed myself back against the wall. This is it. The Demon of Yodok is here. He will
wait, I'm gonna do the Demon of Yodok.
Beautiful.
I had to do that.
He will drag us away and skin us alive. But my mother reacted differently. Yongyu, she said softly, is that you? So it's their dad.
They've been sent there to be the 8 generations. They're the 8 generations sent to the concentration camp. Wow.
Okay. Oh my God.
No,
okay.
he's writing it from the fucking perspective of a people, like, that's it. He's this white guy who's heard about the 3 generations of punishment in DPRK, and that's what he's writing this about.
Yep.
Her dad committed a crime, and now this is the perspective of a family who has to suffer under the 3 generations of punishment, now upgraded to 8 generations.
Okay, so...
Because Yeonmi Park thinks a generation is 10 years, I think. I think that's why she said 8 now. This is anti-DPRK smut. Yes, I might have to fucking light a doobie here.
No, said a soft, feminine voice, barely audible over the intense rain. I concluded this wasn't a demon at all, unless demons sometimes took the shape of skinny teenage boys wearing ill-fitting guard uniforms. I'm the one who showed you to your house earlier today, remember? I'm like, Chul, the guy, like, I don't understand why this writer just keeps emphasizing, like, yeah, this guy is like really feminine. Like, is this supposed to be like a girl in disguise or something?
He's attracted, I guess, to twinks. I don't know. Maybe that's all. He really likes twinks, okay? Calm down.
Even though
we're allowed to like twinks. Yeah, Lennon, have I introduced you to Hot Dog Diet, Lennon? I think you and Hot Dog Diet would get along really good. Lennon has been known to eat 2 dogs at a time.
Even though this person had a man's name and a boy's face, his silky, high-pitched voice caused my brain to insist.
Don't boys grow up to be men? How could he have a boy's name? Like
a man's name, a male name.
Oh, okay, but a boy's face or something.
Yes. Yeah. It's like
boy faces to men or some kind of new group that's emerging in DPRK.
Yeah. Okay. So he says the colonel would like to welcome you to the camp personally. So I'm here to take you to the center of ideological struggle. But I thought the orientation was tomorrow morning, my mother retorted cautiously. Oh, it is. It's just that Colonel Wan would like to say a few words already tonight. I've heard he does that sometimes, but that's really all I know. When will I see my husband? I'm sure he will be home as soon as he has filled his quota for today. You'll see him then. Private Kang, I started respectfully, but then changed tactics. Chul, this must all be some kind of terrible mistake. We're not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. I felt my emotions getting the better of me, but I had passed the point of no return. You can check the records. I'm Kim Adam. I'm a member of the Great General's national gymnastics team. They're like the Great General's own family, and I have performed in front of the Great General himself. You must see I'm not supposed to be here, right?
The Great General's eyes have seen me. Surely I should not be in prison.
It's all a huge mistake. Okay. Again, I'm so sorry, he said in his unbecomingly soft voice. What are you doing with this? This
person just hates feminine men, whoever this guy is. Is this the guy who was screaming on that YouTube video, fucking pronouns? I feel like this was written by that guy.
He just keeps talking about how feminine this guy is.
Or maybe it's Yeonmi Park, because remember how she was all like, that's all she could talk about too.
What?
Yeah, remember she was all like the woke people in the universities that are not masculine or whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh my fucking god. Adam starts crashing out. Just like, but I'm innocent. This is a mistake. She charges at the guard. But the mom's like being like, get it together before you get us all into serious trouble. If not for me, at least think about your sister. That last comment made my already steaming blood boil. Why? She's so
She hates her
mean to her
sister. We've established that she
actually,
hates
oh my
anyone who
God.
suffers or is poor or has to do any work for themselves or anybody less advantaged or anybody who can't afford a coat or anybody who has to walk anywhere or anybody who's got to clean up dishes. Anybody who's ever had to clean up poop. She just hates anybody that she feels is below her. This is Yeonmi Park.
She's such a piece of shit. Oh my God. Oh.
Is this normal if you live in capitalism? This, like, the guy, he even said that he wrote this imagining what a capitalist asshole would be like if they grew up in North Korea. The author of the book literally said that's how he wrote this. You're not supposed to like this character. You're supposed to sympathize with them and understand that they're like this because they grew up in North Korea, and you don't know what that's like, Ninja Can. You don't know what that's like. You have 97 freedoms. You're in Canada. You don't get to say shit. Yodok prison. 2 words. Yodok prison.
Yodok prison. Yep. Okay, so there's a bunch of like stuff where her mom's like, okay, they're not gonna take us back home. They just won't. I don't know what's going to happen to us, but 2 things are certain. 1, they will not bring us back home, and 2, if you continue claiming we're innocent, they will hurt us. So you just stop this at once. She scolds her, and then Autumn's like, okay, I'm sorry. And this is like so... Okay, are you ready for this neuroticism? Her mom leans in and says, I know this isn't the right time, but I want you to know I'm proud of you for qualifying for the team yesterday. I never doubted that you could do it, and that was what terrified me. I'm really proud of you too, Adama. Nadi made a brave attempt to smile. I swallowed. Normally, I would have given anything for such praise from my family. Unfortunately, there was nothing normal about the situation we were in. Like, I wouldn't understand why they're saying it now when they believe it's no longer in my future. As if I would forget that they have always wanted me to fail. That they have always been, all caps, against me. But I'll show them. Thank you, I muttered, struggling not to let my internal rage seep into my voice.
You're not my real mom!
They're nice to her. They're like, I'm proud of you. And she's like, they're against me.
These people are terrible!
I hate everyone. And they're just saying like nice, like kind things to her.
You don't understand. You don't understand. The reason look, she's not actually being a jerk, okay? The reason she's acting like this is because she just really, really, really wants the freedom of her labor to be commodified. She's wrestling with the fact that she's just starting to realize that she really wants her labor commodified in a market of capitalists. Yeah. So have some sympathy, chat. You don't know what it's like. You already get to have the freedom of your labor being exploited by capitalists. You're already a prostitute for capitalists, so you don't have any place to fucking laugh here, okay? Who is the author? We're not really sure. I mean,
we're not sure.
It says it's this Adria Carmichael, which is like the fakest like name ever. And yeah, when we look it up, some weird white dude's face comes up.
Yep.
Carmichael is like the name of like white people diplomats to China for years, wasn't it? Like, I swear to fuck.
So it's Orientalist trash.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to a room where the colonel's there. Okay, so this part made me laugh so hard because it reminds me of something you say. I follow the other scared and confused newcomers in the middle of the room while the grim-looking guards spread out to predetermined positions along the walls, that their menacing machine guns remained pointed at us the entire time, eluded no one. It reminds me when you're like, oh yeah, the guards are just like waiting off screen to shoot you with guns if you say anything on camera or something.
That's the box set, chat. See?
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. There's so much of it. I don't... Why are there like 4 books?
There's apparently 9 planned.
I'm gonna like there's gonna be a point where I have to tap out, like, for yeah.
Well, yeah. But I mean, well, I'm thinking next week we'll dice it up, we'll switch it up, and we'll torture ourselves with some kind of DPRK video.
Okay. Okay, so now they're meeting this colonel, okay, who is like gonna give them like a speech, and this shit is like, okay.
Hold on, before you continue, while Julia's doing this part, I'm gonna smoke one.
Okay.
I'm gonna light one while I'm listening to you.
We live in the greatest country in the world. Our eternal father fought off our enemies who relentlessly attacked us from all sides. He fought back the cowardice attack. The cowardice attack. Of the... Was this proofread? Did anyone fucking proofread this?
No.
Yeah. Okay, of the enemy-controlled puppet regime in the south, which still today holds half the population of Choson hostage. And if that wasn't enough, the great general dedicated his life to building a paradise society on top of the ravaged war ruins the enemy left behind, a paradise that we proudly call home. Here we are safe from our enemies, who still look at us with their beady eyes from across the...
I mean, Trump does have pretty beady eyes, I'll give you that.
Patiently awaiting the slightest sign of weakness. We have plenty of food on the table, sturdy walls and roofs to protect us from the elements, and each of us is assigned suitable work so we can pay back at least a fraction of our debt to our selfless benefactor. Contributing little by little, we continue making this, the greatest of nations, even greater. And this will continue as long as we remain devout patriots guided by the spirit of Juche and our father. We are the most fortunate people on earth. We are the envy of all other nations in the world. Colonel Juan paused his passionate speech as he paced back and forth before us, theatrically dangling his sword by his side. However, despite all the sacrifices our father has made for us, some people inexplicably refuse to recognize how fortunate they are. I mean, our enemies are still out there, lurking about, looking for weakness. And what do they find? That's right. They find those blind people. And those blind people, weak and susceptible, start listening to their malevolent, hateful lies within our very borders. These blind people then become an extension of our enemy's reach that fester in our society, spreading the disease, killing their neighbors, killing the revolution, killing our Juche way of living like a plague. Yeah, we are no longer not defenseless against this disease. The tireless people of the State Security Department, our first and last line of defense against the enemies within our borders, have eyes and ears everywhere, and they always find out when this plague starts to take hold in a new place. And once identified, they can surgically remove it from our society before it does too much damage.
People's Security Services, chat.
Yep. Long story short, the State Security Department then sends all those infected people here so we can cure them. He stepped closer, firming his grip around the sword handle. Firming? And as you probably guessed already, this is why you have joined our little mountain community today. Our mission here is to cure you by any means necessary. And if we are successful, you will be given a second chance to rejoin society and repay your debt to our father. However, if we fail, you will perish together with the disease you carry. Either way, we will have done our duty to eradicate this plague so it won't bring further harm to our society. He smacked the blade of the sword forcefully against the palm of his left hand. So with no further ado, his mouth this time stretched into a distorted, full-blown, maniacal smile. I bid you all welcome to Penal Labor Camp number 15. You have all come carrying this malevolent disease, but I assure you, your disease will be eradicated here, even if it kills you in the process. Very dramatic. Absolutely very dramatic. Okay, and then there's like this, okay, yeah, this is, I mean, stuff actually happens in the next chapter, but I don't know if you want to like do some Helldivers. Have you had enough?
So they had to get the disease of liberalism out, chat. It's a very serious struggle.
Yep. This, but and ironically.
That's why they had to take her, of course, to the home of ideological struggle, Camp Yodok.
Yep.
That's how this artist understands, or this this fucking author understands, like, ideological struggle is done, right? Like, you just, in communist countries, ideological struggle is when you go to prison camp, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
So how are we feeling, chat? Are we tapping out? Do we want to do some Helldivers?
Chat? Are you ready for us to take out our aggression on bugs? Or
Sinchal says more.
Sinchal's sick and twisted like me.
Sinchal's like the sicko meme, like, yes.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, sickos. Wait, do you want to poll it? You should poll it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. Poll it.
Chat.
You want to hear the Demon of Yodok orientation
is what's happened on
ceremony?
This planet, y'all.
Okay, chat. Chat, vote. More Demon of Yodok? Or shall we do some hell diving to release you of this torture? You have got... I will give y'all 5 minutes to make your decision over here. Those of you on the green side, you'll have to jump over to the purple to vote. Democracy only exists in one place. The other place is a dictatorship. Get over it.
That's right. Transfox Girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never own an illegal anything. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Yes. Nobody here would break the law, and especially would not advocate breaking the law.
Nope.
That's certainly not something that we would do.
I gotta stretch. You don't need to see that.
We'll give Chad a glorious song. And while y'all are voting, I'm also puffing. Oh, we're tight on the race here. Chat, mandatory voting. Mandatory DPRK style voting here. I need a 99% turnout on this vote.
Or you'll execute 3 generations.
You'll be going to Camp Yodok at the least. Perhaps 3 generations of your family will be.
Yodak.
Yeah, Yodak.
Yodak.
You'll be going to Camp Yodok. That's in Florida. I've always wanted to try logging.
I do not have SIGs. I have a Benjamin.
I have a doob. But I have to go off. I have to make my screen disappear to smoke on it.
Why?
So my stream doesn't get reported as needing to be 18 plus.
Oh god. Right.
See if you can spot the Demon of Yodok in this video, chat. He's there. He's everywhere. Omnipotent, omnipresent, Demon of Yodok. I'd rather watch the goat. Fidel Castro?
And people, like, Western people want us to believe that the guy that's constantly surrounded by people is, you know, like a bloodthirsty tyrant.
They're scared of him, though.
Yeah, like, they're so close.
This is the emotional response of fear, as you can see.
Yeah. Any one of them, any one of these military-trained adults could, you know, take him out, but they don't because they love him. Aww. I love seeing DPRK kitties. They're really cute. This guy on the left, so unimpressed.
I like the sailors, they were right into it.
Really?
The sailors were super happy to see Kim Jong-un. There's a reason I made an emote here, chat, that I think you'll appreciate. Because before this used to be Barney that was on this emote, and it was like what I used to think of communists, or how I used to picture communists versus how I picture communists now. And it was like a picture of these glowing eyes and teeth, and then the other picture was Barney. So I just switched Barney with a picture of Kim Jong-un because they'd like get the same point across. It was like, how was taught to view communists versus how I view them now, and it's like Kim Jong-un being tickled by some soldier.
Yeah, he likes to pal around with the soldiers.
Yeah, he gives them like piggyback rides and shit.
Yeah, they fucking love that guy. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh god, they voted for more Demon of Yodok. Oh my god, I gotta continue smoking.
Oh my god, you sickos.
All right, we're going for a very generalized fucking overview because the goddamn descriptive writing is horrible.
Stop it. Get some help. Okay. Yeah, but I'll read out like this captain's speech thing because it's so fucking funny.
Oh God. Okay, wait. Let me light my joint back up for this part. All right, let's go.
So he sounds he sounds like such an English speaker. Okay. Now, I know the name Penal Labor Camp number 15 is a bit of a tongue twister.
Excuse me, did you just say penis labor camp?
Penal.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Jesus.
You said penile.
No. So he's like now like super cheerful. Like everyone in this book is a cartoon villain. Um so to keep it simple, everybody just calls it Yodok. How come, you might wonder? Well, it's because we're the only 20 minutes away from the lovely little village of Yodok to the south of here. You passed it on the way here, but you might have been too preoccupied by other things to notice. No worries. Under normal circumstances, I would naturally recommend a visit, but truth be told, I highly doubt any of you will ever see it.
You're gonna die in the concentration camp.
You're a victim.
You got 4 more generations, motherfuckers. Strap in.
Yeah. And
tell me that was not more interesting writing, though, what I just said. Tell me that wouldn't have made a more interesting book. You know?
You should rewrite this.
We should. I think we could actually, like, succeed. We could make some money here. And then we'll send it to DPRK.
So this entire time that this speech is going on, like, Adam's internal monologue is like, I don't deserve to be here. I'm innocent. Like, I'm not a traitor. Blah 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 blah. He's not talking about me. Now, you might wonder what this place is all about, Colonel Juan continued. To put it very simply, Yodok is a re-education camp. All of you have, in one way or another, strayed from the righteous path and are here to be re-educated through discipline and labor. That's it. This is your new life. And to make the transition from your previous life as smooth as possible, I strongly advise you to accept a simple yet crucial truth. Are you ready? Here goes. When you passed that enormous iron gate earlier today, you ceased to be a citizen of Choson. And this whole time she's like, he's addressing the traitors, not me. Like, you're in the room. Like, yeah. Anyway, you're not special. Very much not special. Having harvested the benefits of citizenship your entire lives, you might not fully comprehend what this transition entails. Therefore, allow me to enlighten you. As of now, you are no longer under the loving care of our Father, and you have lost all the privileges and freedoms you've been taking for granted until now. All of them. Now, at this point, you might feel comforted by the fact that your basic human rights will at least keep you out of harm's way. But unfortunately, I have bad news in that regard as well. You're not eligible to retain any human rights because the laws of Choson, simply put, no longer recognize you as human. And since you are no longer human, you also logically lose any sense of worth that normally would be associated with being one. To illustrate this, let me paint you a picture. His cheerful, maniacal grin returns. In the coming days, as you stroll about our little commune, you will likely encounter our animal farm where we keep some pigs, cows, and other livestock. And when you see those little piggies happily rolling around in their own feces, I want you to look deeply into their eyes and know for a fact that those filthy creatures have infinitely more worth than you do. Even the pool of mud, shit, and piss they roll around in is more valuable than you are. And do you want to know about the worms and cockroaches and flies that feast on these filthy animals' excrements? Wait, are we getting to the eating flies thing? No, I think the picture is sufficiently clear already. He's like, oh, is that clear? Yes, it's clear, sir. He has a sword and like Larry, have you ever seen a DPRK like military figure with a sword? Like, do they even have like is that even like a thing? Because I've never seen that.
Yeah, I have seen swords, but they're used for like ceremonies. Like I know like when Xi Jinping comes and visits or whatever, there's like
Yeah.
one guy that's got a ceremonial Korean uniform on and he's got like like a very long traditional like kind of sword. But that's it.
Mhm.
And again, it's like used like at a ceremony.
Right.
The only other time I've seen swords be used is at the beginning of a parade. There was a bunch of these DPRK women who were using swords in a performance and like throwing them back and forth and twirling them around. Those were the only two
Badass.
times I've seen swords be like used.
Badass. So, Colonel One continued in a significantly more casual tone. To summarize, all you need to do to commence your re education here at Yodok is to accept that teensy weensy truth about yourselves. All clear. Like, what? Why are you making him sound like a fucking kindergarten teacher? Oh, yeah, you're teensy weensy little.
This is the feminine guy, right?
No, it's the colonel.
Oh,
The
okay.
feminine guy is a kid, basically. Yeah, I I don't know what kind of weird stuff is going on beneath that, but I don't want to know. Um, you there, he stopped abruptly mid-step and swung his sword through the air until it came to a halt mere inches from Nari's nose. Um, Nari raised her head slowly, transfixed by the razor sharp steel tip hovering before her. Tell me, young lady, who has more value, you or the feces of a filthy pig? No, like, yeah, bullying children, but communistly.
This
Like,
is
abusing
hilarious.
children, but communistly, yeah.
This is what
Uh,
happens in DPRK prisons chat.
for
You get
real.
a sword you get a sword pointed at you and then they say, "Who's worth more, you or that shit?"
Yep.
I love
Uh,
that. I love
yep.
that. That's what a fantastic narrative they're spinning here.
The droppings of a filthy pig, sir. Colonel Juan let out a hearty laugh. That's exactly right. Good. At least one of you has been paying attention. Oh my god, there's so much more. Okay, so he's like,
There's
okay,
so much more.
you will be required to use every ounce of energy your mind and body can muster to reach atonement before our Father. Your determination will be put to the test through excruciating physical labor. Now, if you ask,
You're gonna have to chop a tree down.
yeah, they're just gonna torture you. I guess that's like the whole experience. Um, Now, if you ask my personal opinion, your crimes should only be atoned for through death, because there is no atonement for the heinous crimes against our beloved country you have committed.
The
You have
heinous
renounced
crimes. The
the,
heinous crimes.
the heinous crimes. Is that what you said?
I thought that's what that was saying. I thought that's where we were going with that for a second.
The,
Here, Chad, allow me to put on this unrelated background image to soothe your minds while you listen to this
oh my
nightmarish.
fucking god! Oh, thank you, hot dog. Um, okay.
Okay, hot dog, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate y'all.
um, You have renounced your right to live as soon as you started colluding with the enemy, and your family's right to live as well. Here we go. Yep. Um, uh, and he talks about Kim Il Sung like he's God. Like again, this is just what Christians fucking say,
Yeah, well,
right?
again, because this is someone who's writing it from the idea that, like, what eternal Kim Il Sung is the eternal president clearly means is they all think of him as a god who doesn't shit
Yep.
and doesn't die, and they didn't think he would die, and then when he died, They were all surprised, so they had to make his son the leader or something. That's usually like the narrative they try and spin.
Okay, so he like starts walking like down the row of people with his sword and starts like placing it on the head of everyone he passed.
Hey, this is a comical image, Sinjel, from which we can remember the legacy of Charlie Kirk. Okay? There's no celebration of violence or anything else here. It's just remembering Charlie Kirk as he really was.
Forever in our hearts.
Yeah, stable for a year now.
Please, God. Please, God.
The whole year of stability.
I mean, like, who informed him, though? Like, that's what I want to know. Who informed him that Charlie was stable?
Right? Erica. It had to have been Erica. Erica furiously texting, no, don't say nothing yet on your show. Charlie's stable. It's all good.
We carry the flame. Oh,
she had to reveal it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on your feet! And then do her little dance or whatever she did there at Charlie Kirk's funeral. The twerk or whatever it was that she did there.
Wrestler.
Remember when she twerked to all the fireworks at her husband's funeral?
Oh my fucking God, did she? Amazing.
I don't think she actually twerked, but you know, she could have.
Well, yeah, you need like an ass to twerk. No, I'm joking. You actually don't, but anyway.
You don't, but it helps. It helps a little bit.
Ass would never know how to twerk properly.
Yeah.
You have to have experienced joy in your life to twerk properly.
You have to experience joy, yeah, not just the endless drive for capital and fascism.
Yep. So yeah, he's like putting his sword on people's head like he's fucking like knighting them or something. And he's like, you have to pay your debts to our great general. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir, we chanted. One of the guards rushed over and handed him a folder. Colonel Juan flipped through it for a moment, then traced a page he had decided on with his finger. Kajeun, he read, lifting his gaze from the page. Yes, sir, whimpered a feeble voice behind me. Come to the front, if you please. The woman made her way into the space between Nani and me. She kind of reminded me of my teacher back in the capital, only taller and skinnier. Glistening sweat kept her long black hair sprinkled with a few streaks of white, glued to her cheeks and neck. Like, why? Okay, anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Kajeun.
Descriptive writing, slop.
Yeah. Skipping. Kajeun, you are a prime example of a worthless traitor, on par with some of the most despicable guests our humble facility has ever taken in from treatment. He began reading from the binder in a formal voice that sounded almost rehearsed. Openly criticizing our father, spreading dangerous religious propaganda, conspiring with the illegitimate puppet state in the annexed southern territories of Chosun to overthrow the one and only legitimate regime and renounce the principles.
The one only legitimate regime. We're the one legitimate regime. It's just funny the like describing yourself as that, but it's true actually.
I mean, it's unironically correct.
There is only one indigenous government of Korean people.
That's right. And then she goes E like ear, while frantically searching for a response that wouldn't get her into trouble. Tell us, Miss Ga, how exactly did you intend to overthrow the regime of our great nation? This time, she met his gaze, rampant panic shooting from her eyes. And just how many of your fellow countrymen were you planning on killing in the process? I wasn't, she cried out, turning deep crimson from the neck up. You weren't what? Colonel Juan inquired. You didn't think anybody would get hurt while you overthrew the government? Or what are you saying? She stuttered, desperately searching the room for any form of salvation. but finding nothing but averted eyes. Or are you trying to say you didn't commit these crimes? Because I have here a written confession signed by you, describing in great detail the horrendous crimes you have committed. It also includes descriptions of the atrocious crimes you had planned and all the havoc you would have wreaked if the State Security Department hadn't stopped you. But I didn't. We also have signed testimonies from neighbors and coworkers quoting you publicly criticizing the great general, word by word, and saying you would like nothing better than to leave our country and join the ranks of the puppet regime in the South. Those are lies, Jae-eun suddenly cried out. Trembling from head to toe, her frantic eyes jumped from Colonel Won to the armed guards lining the walls. It's true. My neighbor, she just wanted my apartment for her niece. Colonel Won slammed the binder shut with a bang and handed it back to the guard. It never ceases to amaze me, he uttered, almost as a whisper. People come here after having committed the most unspeakable crimes imaginable, crimes they have confessed to in writing. And yet they continue claiming none of it is true, claiming that vicious people, for whatever reason, are telling lies about them. A neighbor wanted their apartment, a subordinate wanted their job, and somehow they are all here by some kind of mistake. But they are lies. Talon broke down in tears. I didn't do what they're saying I did, and it wasn't me who wrote the confession, and I was forced to sign. My mind was racing. Something needed to be done. Someone needed to do something, anything to stop this gruesome spectacle. But before I could finish my thought, Colonel Won wielded his sword and pierced it through Ja-eun's throat. That's how the chapter ends.
Whoa. My life's been changed.
You right? Right?
My life has been changed.
In the DP arcade, they kill you with the sword.
With the sword.
With the sword.
Think about that, chat,
reason.
Okay?
Yeah. For some fucking reason.
So next time you end up in prison for stealing a chocolate bar, thank your lucky stars that you're not in
the DP arcade.
Yodok!
Yodok!
The scariest place on earth.
Yep, it's hell.
Damn.
Yep.
Chat, what do you think?
While you are living and enjoying your freedom, so much freedom in the West, just remember this is what they have to deal with.
97 freedoms.
Yep.
Let's see. Freedom House. Here we go. 3 freedoms in North Korea. They only have 3 civil liberties, chat.
Oh my fucking god.
So, think about that.
That's so...
It's 3.
Oh my god.
They Freedom only scored House. 3 on the Freedom World Index.
Alright, well, let me... fascinating. Let's see their funders, shall we?
Let's see who. Wall Street, Washington D.C.
Let's see who gives them money, shall we?
It literally says Washington D.C. is their address.
Oh my fucking god! I mean,
their address is literally
Langley, Virginia. But I guess that was too on the nose.